Hey everybody, welcome back to Stylish Grease Monkey. It's been a while since I've ridden my motorcycle because of COVID-19. It's the weekend, it's beautiful weather, it's supposed to rain, but I figured I'd come out here and fix my 2006 CB400. I know you've seen that in video, but it's right here under the covers. Also, what I found out was the battery that I had in there had corroded for some reason. I've actually tried to clean it, but the corrosion's been really bad. And here's the old battery. So as you can tell that the corrosion's back somehow, even though I cleaned it, and the battery is no longer holding a charge, so the bike's not starting. I purchased a new battery from Amazon and it's here, so I'm gonna try and install it, start the bike to see if it'll start, and then ride around with it. Here we go. So again, this is a 2006 CBR400, and the battery's died, corroded. I'm gonna replace the battery with a brand new battery. Ordered it online, actually haven't opened it yet. So, see, these batteries aren't that expensive, but being here in Japan, it's hard to find for some reason, because the Japanese stores sells these things for about $150, and I bought this one online for like 30 bucks, so not a bad deal. Pretty good. Mighty Max battery. It probably won't last long, but we will put that baby in and see if she starts. Often when you buy a motorcycle battery, it's hard to, put it in there, because these things come with generic screws right here. You see that right there? It comes with the wing nut and screws, and if you put it in here, right, sometimes it falls out. So what you want to do is, what I do is I put tape, like electrical tape, just a small one, to keep the wing nut in place. But the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna try to make sure this thing fits good in there. Of course it does. And like I said, it can fall out if it's not placed properly. So, okay, so for those of you that's done this a couple of times, you've learned your lesson that if you just put this wing nut right here in here, it could fall off because it's open, obviously. And another thing too is that this bolt right here is not long enough. Once you have your negative cable clamps on top of these things, is not long enough to reach the nut down there so you can singe it. So what I do is, aside from putting tape on both sides, I also put a piece of cardboard, just enough for the nut to be raised, And I'm going to show you what I mean by that here in a minute. So first, we can use the same box. Just cut off a little bit of that there, because we're not going to return that, of course. We're done with that. Just a little piece. Piece on both sides. This really just elevates the wing nut so that you have enough space both sides, and then you're gonna reach in there and remove it with long nose pliers. So I'm just gonna go fold it like this, give it a little bit more of a bump, right? And put that thing up there, just like this. Believe me, you gotta do this work here so that when you put it on in the space, then you're not dealing with it. And there's a very tight space in the battery compartment that you're not gonna be able to do any of this stuff. So what you wanna do is just get that up there. Take some tape. Just enough to go around. I usually just split it, so I'm not covering the whole thing, because you're gonna leave that tape there later. It's enough to cover. Start from the back. Make it easier for you. Of course, I didn't make it long enough, but not to worry. We have another one right here. Okay. Pretty pretty. Just enough to hold it. Same thing on the other side. Same thing, just the other one I made too short, so this one I'm making a little bit longer. And like I said, just wrap it around the back, around that hole, keeps that little hack, keeps the wing nut or the nut in place, doesn't fall out when you put it in the battery compartment. Simple trick, but it works. Okay, that's how it's gonna look for now. I'm gonna remove this when I'm ready to put the terminals. Okay, so the next thing that needs to happen, obviously I need to get to the battery, which is under the seat right here. And for the CB400, the key is on this side, so I'm not gonna mess around with my camera there. I'm gonna film with my phone on this side so we can see it. All right, key, open. If it's open like that, you should be able to, in the back right here, should be able to pull down, and it unlocks it, and then you can lift the seat. Okay, as we talked about, the battery compartment is very tight. These things come with small batteries, but that's how it looks down there. The battery goes in here, the terminals are right there, and then of course you have the door right here. Okay, I hope you can see this, but I've installed a charger, like a quick charge. This is the cables for it. Set that aside for now. Like I said, it's a little tight in here, but just gotta wiggle it in, singe it in, and then once it's in there, then we will see if it'll start. This particular bike is carbureted, so it may take a little while to start, but it's warm outside, so I'm not anticipating any problems. Fits like a glove, just the right size. Yeah. Like I said, if you didn't tape that, the bolt or the nut would have fell out by now. And it's frustrating because once it falls out, it's hard to get. So I'm hooking up the negative for now. Not to worry about the piece of cardboard that you put in there, because it doesn't matter. It'll just get squished by the bolt, and then it should just poke a hole. Okay, so negatives in, put the positive in, then we should be good to go. I made videos of putting the air filter, replacing the air filter on this bike before. I've had many viewers, many likes, but you know, to my surprise, many dislikes. And I tried to be as detailed as possible on my work and my video, but for some reason, some people don't like it. But I don't care, because that video is online, and who cares? That's all I care about, is that I'm sharing knowledge, sharing information for everybody out there if they want to work on their own bike. But you want to save money, learn how to work on your own bike. Okay, alright, before I tuck it all in there, I just want to make sure this thing starts. So here we go. I was able to put the battery in, no problem. Now before I secure everything, I want to make sure that this thing starts. So let's try and start it. Like I said, probably gonna take a while because it hasn't started for a little while. But it's a Honda, and of course it starts after several tries. I'm gonna warm it up because it's been sitting for a little while, and then I'm gonna take it for a ride, get you some videos of how this thing rides. Love this bike, love my Hondas for sure, and this is definitely a Honda. Never lets things down, always start up whenever you want it. So I'm gonna secure the battery in here for now. I'm gonna test drive it, and I'll see you on the road.